Good day, watchers, and welcome to another Totally Flawed movie review tonight. And tonight I've been watching a film called Night of the Comet. I've been watching this tonight. What a good film! It's a 1984 film, and yeah, anyway, when I shoot the back and you get the story. Life can be tough when you're a valley girl. First, there's making sure that you're on time for pep squad practice. Then there's having to live under the same roof as your bitchy stepmother, who you suspect is making it with Chuck across the road. And of course, there's having to keep on the lookout for the occasional marauding zombie hungering after your flesh. 18-year-old reggae Catherine Mary Stewart misses out on the event of a lifetime when she ditches watching the Comet in favour of copping off with projectionists at the cinema where she works. But it turns out to be a wise move when the next day she discovered that the entire population has been reduced by piles of dust, leaving Reggie, her sister Sam, and a handful of other survivors, and fend off the moving gangs of glassy-eyed zombies. Okay, right. I cut some of that a bit out because. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I've been watching this time. What a fun movie it was. And at the start of the movie, there's like a intro to it, like where you see space, and you see this comet, this guy talking, and you see this comet like coming towards, going towards Earth. Then you see people outside celebrating, or waiting for this comet to go overhead, I suppose. But when that happens, the sky kind of goes all weird, like all kind of weird colours and shit. And then so what happens, and the girl there is, of course, before that even hits, there's a girl there who's working at the cinema. She's working at the cinema. She likes to play arcade machines, and she's playing this arcade machine, very out of date by the way, 1984. So, but then she spends time with her boyfriend when the thing hits. So she's sleeping with him when the meteor and the comet hits Earth. Well, it kind of hits Earth. It kind of like goes overhead. So when she wakes up with a boyfriend, things aren't quite as what they seem anymore. Because when she wakes up, her boyfriend goes somewhere to collect something. So the boyfriend goes somewhere, right? Of course, and then he gets attacked by something, some kind of like zombie. Gets like hit by something like a span or something. Anyway, she kind of goes out, right, and she's like looking around thinking, what the hell? And then the place is like empty. Like the only thing you can see is clothes on the floor with dust, like sand or something. It's like dust. And anyway, she gets attacked by. She's like, she gets locked up from the cinema, but then she goes out the back to go through the back. Of course, she's still locked out. Of course, then she runs into the zombie monster. The zombie monster doesn't sound right. She runs into the zombie anyway, so she gets away on the bike. Of course, she heads home. Of course, then she meets the sister. Of course, and so her and her sister. Sort of like a few people. It's like a Dawn of the Dead, cross between Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Triffids kind of film. It is very similar. I have actually seen a bit of Day of the Triffids, and it's quite a cool film. It's a good film. I enjoyed it. It's him off Star Trek, Voyager, Chakotay. He's on it. He says that he plays a character called Hecker, because when they're okay, right. There's like a radio station, man. They hear like a radio and they think, oh, they end up at the radio station. And of course, they meet a guy called Hector. Hector. It's Hector. You meet Hector, and he's played by Chakotay from Deep Space, from Voyager. So they team up with him, right? Of course, she's having these weird dreams about these zombie things chasing her. She has these weird dreams. And it's her sister. Of course, he has to go somewhere to his mum's to see if she's okay. So he leaves them, of course. When he turns up at his mum's house, she's gone, but then he ends up this kid chasing after him. It's quite funny actually, because he says something quite funny. He goes, good job I like kids, you know. So it's a funny line, I was like, that's funny, that's very funny. He looks quite young in this actually. Like I say, he's on Voyager. Yeah, he's a good actor actually. So anyway, the two girls end up at this shop, the clothes shop, of course, and they meet these people, guys. Now, first of all, they're like using, practice car shooting, using target practice at this car with this gun, and then they end up at this shopping centre, and then they meet these guys with guns and stuff. But in the middle of in parts of the film, you do see these people living underground. Of course, there's a lot bit twisted these people are. Let's just say they're not the good guys. That's for sure. That's for sure. Because after they get caught by the guys in the shop, the gang from the mall, the shopping place, they get chained up. Of course, the people from underground turn up and save them. Of course, they're not who they say they see. They're not like the good guys in this. Actually, the only person that's more likeable is the woman in it, because she stays behind with her sister, because with her sister, while her sister goes to the underground place, underground base in the middle of nowhere, the desert. So yeah, she ends up out there. She's quite a feisty. I quite like her. She's quite a feisty character. I quite like her. So anyway, what happens? Anyway, right, okay, right. What the woman does is, right, she pretends that she kills her, because one of the characters stays behind to keep an eye on her from the base. And so she puts a needle in her, of course. Then she shoots that guy, and then she ends up at the radio station with Hector. And then she kills herself, which is weird, because there's something about being affected. They're affected too, of course. It turns out they're affected too. And at the base, it turns out they bring some kids in, survivors. Of course, they're trying to find a serum for the infection or something. So they're using a real human, kind of like, they're using human blood. So they've got like a few humans in the base, dead. Of course, they're using their blood, keeping them alive. So it's weird. The film wasn't what I expected, because I was expecting to see a bunch of zombies walking around and going, but you don't really. You do see the odd little zombie. You do see the odd zombie, but it's not like thousands of like Dawn of the Dead, you see loads of zombies chased after. It's different. It's a lot different to because actually the zombies kind of talk in this. It's weird. So anyway, when in the base, the girl escapes and Finger turns, or Hector, to the base. With the girl in it, and yeah, I liked it. It's very intriguing. Anyway, all hell kind of breaks loose at the end with the escape and stuff like that. To us, there's not much to say at the end, because it wasn't like a massive ending at the end. It was kind of like just the escape and then that's it. But yeah, it's one of those movies that you want to. It's a good fun movie. Great action scenes, funny humour. It's got a bit of 80s humour too, sliced in, mixed in with the horror and stuff. But it's a fun movie. It's one of those movies you will enjoy. It's got some decent effects. I like the fact. Another thing I like about this film is the fact everything's just empty. It's like a deserted freaking town what they've done. So it's like Dawn of the Dead. It's like, I suppose, 28 weeks later. But it's really well done. I really enjoyed it. I love the action scenes. I love the humour in it. It's really funny. But yeah. It's just about enough time for the film, so it's like an hour and a half. It's like a 1 hour to 36-minute film, which is good. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I didn't dislike anything. I suppose the only thing I disliked was not enough zombies on it. Apart from that, it's solid. I suppose it was different, very different. So yeah, I enjoyed it though. It's a good 80s film. So yeah, I enjoyed it. It's a nice 80s film. I really enjoyed it. It's fun. It's not too full on hardcore violence and stuff. It's a fun movie. So the rating I'm going to give this film is a 4 out of 5. I really enjoyed it, and yeah, it's got some decent performances. Thing is great in it. What's her name? Catherine Mary Stewart. She's gorgeous. She's stunning. So yeah, so 4 out of 5 for Night of the Comets. Really good film. Of course, I'm doing the review of the Michael Jackson doc, the Leaving Neverland. So keep an eye on that. It's going to take a bit to put together. That is, but it's getting there. So yeah, give it a 4 out of 5 for Night of the Comet. Good movie. Now before I go off, I've got a busy day tomorrow, so got to have my eyes done. So anyway, people, have a nice day. Have a nice wherever you go, wherever you live, and take care. See you later. Bye.